Hi there, I'm playing with the luster polishes today, and I've kind of worked out a fun little way to do some texture on the background, so I'm going to show you how to do that, and we will run you through what we're going to be using. I have the You Are the Best, which is the mini expression. That's our sentiment. This is from the Frames and Tags. This is Priscilla. We're going to use this to cut an aperture and kind of be the focal element. The Finishing Touches, the Cosmo Flower. And we've got a thin frame out of the double-stitched rectangles. Okay, we'll set those to the side. Now I'm going to play with the luster polishes first. So I'm going to bring in the Tantalising Teal. This one is called Blue Allure, and the Violet Vibe. Okay, so pop that over. So we've used these already a little bit, but bring them back over. And what we want to do is just add a bit of the luster polish and make it a tiny bit on the thick side. We're not coating the top of an embossing fold or anything. We want to get a little bit of texture into this. So pop out little applicators and just sort of move it all around the cardstock. And I usually tell people do a larger sheet of this, and then you've got something you can go back to when you need it. For this one, I'm just going to do a little bit here. And here's your blue one. So I'm going to add on a little bit of that color there. Let me get some more of that. Kind of blends a little bit, but they're really pretty colors together. There we go. So you can see I've got quite a bit of product on there. So what I want to do is pop these to the side and bring in some cling film. I'm just going to pull off a little bit, and a little bit extra you need, and cut it. We're going to pop that right over the top of that. Okay. Now this is the fun part. So what you want to do is scrunch it. Just move it around. That's why you want a little bit larger of a piece. And just scrunch it up and get all those little wrinkly bits in there. Make it look like elephant skin. So we're going to set this aside to dry with those scrunches on it, okay? And I would say, depending on how thick you put it on, you might want to let it dry overnight. Now, there is another video I've done where we use the cling film, so you can watch that later. But for this one, I'm just going to use that piece. And I've got a piece I've done earlier. So if you come in, you can see you've got all these textures going on. Really nice lines there. Now let me tidy up just a hair bit so we don't transfer that onto the rest of our card. It's a bit messy. There we go. Get it off my hands. Okay. And dry. So now what I want to do is I'm going to bring in the Priscilla die, and I'm just going to use the outside cutting edge on this one. We're going to pop that on there and tape it into place. And we're going to cut an aperture. Now, if you're anything like me, you've been a little bit heavy-handed with your luster polish, so it's quite thick, but it shouldn't have any problem cutting through that. Just pop that on and run it over, and then I'm going to go back just to make sure. There we go. So now we've got a nice aperture. Now I've gone ahead and I've added some mounting foam to one I've already done. So I'm going to pop this to the side and put my die back into place. I'm going to bring over the one I've already done earlier, and I've mounted it up, and I've just put a white backing on there. So what I want to do is take the die that I cut out of there, and I'm going to recess that down into it. Use a little bit of glue here. And I am also going to hit it with some of the Cosmic Shimmer glue just to give it a nice firm hold. Pop that down. Let's see if there's even a matching side. I think that might be it. Move along. Give that a nice push into place. And I just like to run my finger under the edge there just to make sure I've got it all down. And I've gone ahead and cut the Priscilla die in white, so that'll really pop out against it. I'm going to give that a press down into it. Bit of glue and a little bit more the Cosmic to help that. Put that right in place over it. There we go. Just sort of lift up the edge of that lip and just run your finger all along that and make sure it's down and intact really nicely there. There we go. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to pop this onto my backing with all that beautiful color from the luster polish. We're just going to use a white backing on it. There we go. Put that into place like that. We're going to come back to that. I've got a frame that I've cut out of the rectangles, a little bit of mounting foam on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put that into place around the edge. I love the way frames finish off a card, so I have to say I use them quite a bit. And let's see if I can just lay that on there. Get that right about even. Oops, oops, oops. Could have used a little trim on there, but that's fine. Leave it like that. Pop those to the side. And I've gone and done another of the Priscilla die. Now I want to make this a little smaller, so I'm going to bring in my little paper cutter. Let's move these all out of the way. I'm going to cut it in half down the center here. And then I'm going to line up the edges. Oops. And trim it again. Make it a little bit shorter. Let's go right about like that. Just right to that edge of that one there. I think will work. Give it a good chop. Pop that to the side. Now what I want to do is turn these over, line it up together, and put a little bit of single-sided tape on it. We're going to make it smaller. Put one piece there, and we'll do another one here. Just get them all nice and even. I'm going to put some mounting foam on the back of that, and I got a little bit of a spot on that from my finger. There we go, that'll work. So this one I'm going to put in the center right across this. So it's just a little bit smaller, but it fills up that area really nicely. Now, I've got a little extra piece from when I did my background. I always recommend do a larger piece. We're going to cut the You Are the Best out of that. It's always nice. You can tone in your flowers and everything else when you do extra bits. Sometimes you don't even plan it, but you think, oh, that's exactly what it needs. So it's really nice to do that. Let's pop that out. Get this little guy out of here. And a couple more. Oop, there we go. Got it. And just a few extra little bits here. Okay. Now I've done a couple of these in white. I love to layer them up because it gives it really nice dimension. Let me get the middle of that A there. So I can glue that onto these. And you can even offset that if you like. You could have a little white shadow. I'm going to try and get that on there nice and straight. There we go. Move that around a little bit. And another spray to the back of that. There we go. So this will go right in the center here. Oops. Across your fold line. That's not bad. And I've got some flowers there. Again, I used a bit of the extra luster polish background to cut some flowers out. I'm going to give them a little bit of forming. So I've done 2 of each of the sizes. We're going to glue these 2 together and offset them. Put a pearl in the middle of that one. Give that just a second to set up. And my fingers have gotten very sticky. There we go. That should work. Bring back my glue dots. And I'm going to seat my flowers in the corner here. Oops, come on. Get a hold of that guy. He's still not quite set up. Let me just turn him a little bit. Put my glue dot down and try that again. That might hold better. Give it a good push. There we go. And got the medium and the small one right here. I love this little guy. So useful to have a tiny little flower you can use. And a couple of these little leaves here. We're just going to add a couple in here, a couple in here. There we go. And I'm missing a leaf. Oh well, we'll just do the one. Pop that in there. You get the idea. I've got one that's gone AWOL, but you can see how pretty that is. So you've got a lot of that beautiful texture coming through on that luster polish, and it just gives it something different for the recipient to admire. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and you will look at our YouTube channel for so many more.